Tajuan Porter, when good things happen, Tajuan Porter's the man that can cash it in.
Yeah, and you think about the finish and you think of the inside stuff, but he's all deep on the perimeter. If you lose sight, you lose contact with him, and he's going to make you pay a price if you don't get out and challenge right away, get him off that three-point line. That's what he lives for. That's what he's out here to do. Knock down three-point shots. You got to be aware of that if you're Jacob Pullen and the entire K-State defensive unit.
4 more tonight. He has more turnovers than assists this year, and I think everybody has pretty much figured out that Tajuan Porter's not going to be a playmaker.
Well, a lot of times, you know, what happens, Ted, and I saw it in Hawaii, coming off of high screens. I mean, the teams are really doing a good job of kind of trapping him with the big guy, and he's 5'6", and he kind of gets lost in that crowd, and it's a difficult time for him to make a quality pass in that kind of a situation. Ernie Kent has gotten him out of those situations in this game, taking him off the basketball.
Look at this. Dominique Sutton defending. Humphrey took it in. And Clemente triggers back. Sutton skidded to a stop there. Here comes Humphrey. Feeds Odia. And Odia not able to handle the pass.
But I like the activity of Dominique Sutton. I mean, of Humphrey, Matthew Humphrey. Not crazy about the last shot attempt, but he did get there, and that time did a nice job. Showed some good ball handling ability for a guy who's a scorer coming out of high school. Playmaking ability.
Jamar Samuels. Fred Brown, a good shooter. Puts the ball down. And it gets it to drop. 10 points now for Fred Brown.
Give him a nice boost off the bench, Fred Brown, and as you mentioned, he is the guy that at 46% their best three-point threat.
Oregon can't relax, obviously. Porter, his 5th three.
Nice job. Good double staggered screen action to free up Tajuan Porter. Again, that second screener defensively has got to come out, step out, at least challenge that three-point look.
One is Porter trying to save. No. What I was just going to make is that last weekend, K-State was down 17 in the second half to Kentucky, took the game to the buzzer. Down 13 to Iowa in the second half, took the game to the buzzer.
The hustle by Tajuan Porter, giving up the body over in the stand. But you can't count this K-State team out. And with Frank Evil Eye Flegel on the sidelines giving the double whammy, you know his team is going to respond at some point as long as they can hang around.
There's Clemente again.
And now we're seeing breakdowns from Oregon defensively. A lot of penetration is leading to uncontested layups. Dominic Sutton had an uncontested, just blew that. So that would have been 3 consecutive points in the paint.
And this time Clemente fouls Cameron Brown. Clemente only played 12 minutes in K-State's last game against Iowa because of fouls, and he was redeeming himself tonight. It's funny you were talking about the UMass guards from Puerto Rico, and I was immediately thinking of Jose Ortiz.
Yeah.
He was a terrific big man at Oregon State about 20 years ago.
Played for the Utah Jazz. Again, very, very solid footwork, but in Clemente, you know, he transferred from Miami, where he started 15 games as a sophomore, averaged 10 points a game, and he's just renowned in college basketball for his tremendous speed. We saw that on display numerous times here this evening. But he and Pullen have got to learn. I think they're still trying to figure out how to play together in terms of sharing the ball. Both guys kind of lead guards, not so much point guards, but lead guards, point guards that like to score.
So Cameron Brown hits both. So Oregon up 8. 5 on the floor for K-State, brought to you by KFC. Notable is that Jacob Pullen is not.
And again, mixing it up. 1-2-2, three-quarter court pressure.
And the 5 for Oregon, again brought to you by KFC, and a foul inside on the Ducks. Williams, I believe. DeAndre Williams. 3 team fouls now on Oregon.
Once again, 3 freshmen along with Tajuan Porter, junior, Cameron Brown, a sophomore. for Oregon. Can they maintain? Can they keep their composure? Can they shore up their defense and stop allowing penetration all the way to the rim?
So, by the way, I know people always ask, I get this question, where are these guys? Marty Lunen's playing in Turkey. Bryce Taylor's playing in Italy. Malik Harrison's playing in Austin, Texas. And the D-League. Bill Walker, K-State's also playing in the D-League and playing well in Utah.
Saw Bill Walker in the exhibition season for the Boston Celtics, and they said some good things about him. Same as Malik Harrison for San Antonio. It was one of their last cuts. I think it went down to him and Desmond Farmer, former USC lefty shooter.
So pulling back in the game for K-State. Now Merriweather off the bench, being asked to slow down Tajuan Porter. Good screen by Wiley. And that goes out of bounds off Wiley.
And there's Porter being harassed by a bigger defender, Chris Merriweather at 6'3", Tajuan Porter at 5'6", and just the length bothered Porter on the delivery of that pass. And so another turnover.
What'd you say in the first half about Merriweather? Right? He's a what kind of guy?
Yeah, just energy.
Right.
He's high energy.
So you're gonna have a timeout in a minute and a half, right, Mark? So let's go in there and just smother Tajuan Porter for 2 minutes. And there's Ron Anderson with the follow for K-State. They're back within 4.
I was going to say needs a timeout right about now.
Short one.
Settle his guys down, get them together and what they want to do defensively, but more importantly, get a high quality shot on this offensive possession. That's just a bad weak side defense that time by Matthew Humphrey. The ball on the right wing. He should have been in the paint, ready to help out. He was outside of the paint, too late to recover and be of any effect to your teammate.
Well, next Sunday, doubleheader of college hoops right here. We'll have an afternoon version of Sunday Night Hoops presented by Pizza Hut, Wright State, and Wake Forest. They'll play at 4 Eastern. And then we'll be in Phoenix, Arizona, and Gonzaga at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific in high def. Arizona led Friday night for 39 minutes and 40 seconds in College Station. And Nathan Walkup of A&M hit a three-pointer with 20 seconds to play. The only time A&M had the lead, and they won the game. There's the number 7 turnovers for Pullen.
Wow.
And Arizona, you can see how fragile they're going to be. Nick Wise fouled out of that game with about 7.5 minutes to go, and Arizona was up, I believe, 9 points. And they just didn't, they couldn't play without it.
Just imploded. It's going to be an interesting year for Russ Pennell down in Arizona. There's a foul call on the penetration by Matthew Humphrey.
So Ron Anderson of K-State picks up his second.
But Humphrey likes to attack. That's what I like about him. There's not a lot of east and west with this game. He's going north-south. He's trying to get there and do something. And as a freshman, you like to see that.
Uchi Awaji off the bench for K-State with the rebound. So now Oregon's had a couple of empty trips.
Nice.
And inside, a great seal-off by Anderson.
Yeah, great job by Ron Anderson to get that early offense going. And good job, Jacob Pullen on the delivery. Here comes the all-out pressure out top. But there's got to be pressure with some smarts. You don't want to put them into the penalty. Oregon, if you're K-State, when you're in the midst of making a nice little run here.
All right, 14 fouls on K-State.
And watch down here. There's a seal down there inside by Anderson. Uses the wide body. Get great position inside.
All right, Tajuan Porter's sitting right now, so where does Oregon go?
For some back doors, though, man. Again, once again, K-State's really overextending their defensive pressure.
Screen and roll was there, but Criddle didn't roll. And Odia drew the foul. Well, we got a major in poli-sci and a minor in drama.
Lesbian in him. But, you know, again, this is bad closeout on the part of DeMar Samuels. Just want to be there, be a presence. Churchill Diaz is not a knockdown three-point shooter. Even though he is up to 39% this year.
60 at the line. Amazing how a guy can score 3 points and be as important as Odia has been in this game.
Yep.
And you can see Churchill, he's got some sort of a wrap.
Yeah, I'm looking at
and
that.
I was looking at the same thing. Just noticed the wrap around his midsection. Looks like a flak jacket.
Probably guard Michael Dennigan in practice.
Took a charge.
A little too closely. Sharp Chicago Bows. They're trying to post up Ron Anderson, trying to a little 4 out and 1 in, allow him to put it on his back to go up and over the top, which they've had some success in doing.
Poland's open. Long rebound. Odia to Sim. Back to Odia. Gathers himself and draws the foul. We'll give K-State credit. Look how many blue-purple shirts, I should say, were back there. The effort running back. They'll make Odia earn it at the line as Oregon goes to the timeout up 4.